What questions should you ask on a first date to get to know each other better? Which vegetable has hurt you the most? Stephen Hawking. These days, that vegetable is used as fertilizer. I'm going to hell just for reading these comments. If someone has an unusual name, the first thing you should ask is how to pronounce it correctly. Literally, the first thing I said to my husband on our first date was, "Hi," followed by an awkward attempt to pronounce his name. He replied, "What did you just call me?" Up to that point, I had never wanted to jump into a nearby creek in mid-February so badly. So, what was his name?
Bob.
It's pronounced as T'Chaucha. Favorite dinosaur? Triceratops, especially the blue ones. Growing up sucks. People don't really want to know my favorite dinosaur. It's Gorgosaurus. You don't care. Do you have any sexually transmitted infections? Do you need one? Do you use Reddit? If they say no, you can just respond, "Oh, okay," and change the topic. But if they say yes, you need to stand up and leave immediately. Why ask that? Can't you already see that he's a socially inept, overweight recluse? What do you like to do in your free time? I never asked people about their jobs. I didn't care how they made their money. I was more interested in what makes them passionate and excited. Mostly video games and anime. Hey, wait, where are you going? I never know how to answer this question. I don't do anything specific in my free time. It's my free time. Fun, open-ended questions that let the person reflect a bit. Things like, what are your political beliefs? Are you religious? What's your stance on the Armenian genocide? You forgot to include past relationships. Politics, religion, and exes are the best topics for a first date. No, they're not. Why don't you put away your phone? Ugh. I've been out of the game for the last 20 years. Situations like these must be unbearable. I recently got back into dating after 12 years, and I'll say this. If they can't put away their phone, it means they don't care about you. Keep looking. I'm heavily addicted to my phone, so I don't bring it to dates. I have the same thing with heroin. Can I still ask this question considering we're married? These aren't exactly questions, but a little game that helps break the ice and see how well you might interact with each other. If you're in a bar or cafe, look at the people around you and try to make up a story for each person in the building. It's quite fun and reduces the tension between you. While sharing these fictional stories, you can gauge each other's sense of humor and personality. I once tried playing this game with a girl. We were guessing how many dates the couples around us had been on. It was our third date. I guessed that one couple was on their second or third date. My date got up and asked the couple to see if I was right. They had been together for 2 years. I nearly died of embarrassment. Will you marry me? Yes, wow, that was so easy. I should try this. You can try it on me? Why are you gay? With a Ugandan accent. Who says I'm gay? You are gay. Are you trying to go on dates but feel nervous? Honestly, there aren't specific questions you should stick to. Just talk. Start with casual questions like which school they went to, where they work, do they like this or that. Eventually, you'll talk about each other's hobbies and experiences. Initially, you'll share your life experiences, and then start asking each other similar questions in turn. Eventually, you'll understand if the person is genuine or not. That's how most natural conversations happen. Of course, if the person isn't particularly interested in you, you might not get many answers, and any questions you ask won't lead to much. What secrets about you do your parents not know? I don't know if it's good to ask this on dates, but it's fun to ask strangers. What's your favorite compliment? This question reveals a lot and easily starts a conversation. Who are you? What's the largest mammal you think you could knock out with one punch? I asked my wife this, and without hesitation she said, a squirrel. What's your name? Who's your daddy? Is he as rich as I am? Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Especially if you're serving them. Does this rag smell like chloroform? Many people will tell you to avoid RAPE questions on a first date. For those unaware, RAPE stands for Religion, Abortion, Politics, and Exes, topics you should avoid. But here's the thing. If you're not in the market for short-term, casual relationships, it's in your interest, and your potential partners, to lay all the cards on the table. After all, you don't want to date for months only to find out you're fundamentally incompatible, like discovering they believe gnomes control the weather. If you had 1 hour where any crime was legal and socially acceptable, what would you do? Are there any social taboos you find ridiculous? Are there any you personally don't follow? What's the most unacceptable opinion you hold? Of course, answers to such questions often shouldn't be voiced publicly, so be tactful about where and when you ask them. But at the same time, if the date seems to be going well, you can use this as an opportunity to suggest a more private setting. Either way, the best questions to start a conversation are those that reveal important details about both sides, those that help determine if you're compatible in the long term. In other words, you should definitely discuss RAPE on the first date if you're looking for a long-term partner. The best conversation starters are usually the ones that end conversations. What's your favorite random fact? What's something spontaneous you've done? What's your worst cooking disaster? What's something you would find hard to live without? What unresolved childhood drama will cause your irrational behavior a little while after we start dating? Girls love it when I ask this. By the way, I'm a psychotherapist. No. You shouldn't ask this on the first date. Let that stuff come out naturally during the relationship so you, like all of us, can enjoy the sudden surprise. I once tried to be upfront about everything, but the guy raised his hands and interrupted me, saying, "I had enough of my own crap in childhood. I don't want to carry your emotional baggage too." Okay, I get it. But needless to say, things didn't work out between us. What was the name of your first pet? What was the name of your second-grade teacher? What was the make and model of your first car? On which street did you grow up? In which city were you born? And then read through all their emails and direct messages. A great way to get to know each other. If you had to choose any 8 characters, including numbers, uppercase and lowercase letters, and special symbols, what would you pick? What's your mother's maiden name? On my first date with my husband, we played the following game. One of us would pick a year, and then we both had to share what was happening in our lives that year. It was a great way to get to know each other. I don't even remember what I did this morning. Yeah, it sounds like a fun idea, but I already forgot what I had for lunch an hour ago. I don't think I can play this game. Be careful with this topic. It can get awkward if there's a big age difference. I was shocked at how significant age can be when I realized my girlfriend was in middle school when I started college. It was awkward. Jesus Christ, how old are you? Can anyone give tips on how to even get a first date? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Be attractive. Ask someone out who finds you attractive. Be attractive. Got it. Next step. Can someone give me tips on how to be attractive? Don't be unattractive. I'm trying to figure out if someone with the username IFAP2Turkeys can really be an expert on what's attractive and what's not. I came to Reddit to escape real life, not to be constantly reminded of it. OkCupid had a great article dedicated to the statistics from their vast user base. Here are 3 questions they presented as the best for compatibility. 1. Do you like horror movies? 2. Have you ever traveled alone to another country? 3. Wouldn't it be fun to leave everything and live on a sailboat? If you agree on all 3 questions, your chances of being compatible are significantly higher. Here are some fun tidbits from the article. If you want to know if someone is religious, ask how they feel about spelling errors. Higher tolerance for spelling errors is closely linked to religiosity. If you want to know if a girl is easy, ask if she likes beer. There's a strong correlation between these 2 things. Are you going to finish that? If not, I'd like to take it home for my wife and kids. You shouldn't ask, does your mom need a son-in-law on a first date because she might be from an orphanage? Guys, I'm speaking from experience. Girl, I'm a vegetarian. Me, trying to impress her. I'm a vegetable. Considering our times, I would ask, are you sure you're a girl? Thank you so much for watching. In the comments below, feel free to share your thoughts on what questions should be asked on a first date. What do you think are the best questions to ask to really get to know someone?